Hey, hello, and I'm here to expose MLMs. If you don't know what MLM is, it's a multi-level marketing scam, scheme, whatever you want to call it. I know that there are a lot of anti-MLM creators out there. I love their work. They've done amazing, and I want to join them. So I know I started this channel as court channel, but if you've read my title now or the name of the channel, it's T's Cult Camp, so I will be exposing a lot of MLMs that try to sell a fake dream to a lot of vulnerable people out there. So I hope that I can make an impact in this world, in this channel, and save people because they just keep popping up, new MLMs all over, and people just get sold on this dream, or they prey on vulnerable people, and it's just not cool, and I'm here to stop it. So I hope you stay with this channel, that I'm now changing it. No more court. I'm sorry about that. I thought about starting a new channel and just doing an anti-MLM, but I figured I already have this platform, and hopefully you guys choose to stay. So with all that said, I want to react to a guy that was at the top of the company of Modere. And as we all know, Modere has closed their doors and hurt a lot of people. That's what a lot of MLMs do. They're known for that, closing their doors without telling anybody. And people put a lot of hard work and money into the dream, the business, their business, which we all know it's really not their business, because Modere is a great example. They closed their doors on a lot of people who thought, or sold people on your business. And look, it's not, clearly, because Modere closed their doors. So a top leader from Modere founded this new MLM, which is Nueve, and he went live and tried to talk people into joining, or did a training, I guess you could say, on how to work hard and if you're too busy, because I guess he's run into a lot of people who are just simply too busy to join his team, which a lot of times people don't want to say no, so they, I don't have the money, or I'm sorry, I'm too busy, but he doesn't want to take no for an answer, or you're too busy for an answer. He's gonna basically say that, oh, you don't care, you want to lose, you don't want to make money, you don't want a good life, like, type thing, and just wait till you hear him in this live. Like, it's wild how these MLM people train and how they use like certain tactics just to break you down. And someone who is watching, who is already vulnerable or who is in a bad spot in life, they hear him speak and say how wonderful this new opportunity is and how much money you can make and you can live the dream, and just selling people a fake dream basically is what he's doing. But they also like to break you down while they're trying to get you to join their team. It's a weird concept. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to start on that. If you hear my kids in the background, I am so sorry. I told them to be quiet, but we all got to share this place, so it's fine. So without further ado, let's start the live, and I will be stopping it to make certain points or to just comment on basically what he has to say. So let's get into the live.
What's up, legends? John Melton coming to you live with MyLifestyleAcademy.com, and I wanted to have a quick conversation with you if you're busy. In fact, some of you are probably too busy to even watch this, and what a shame. What a shame that would be for you to miss out on such glorious, free $1 million advice. But, it is.
Free $1 million advice? Okay. From an MLM, like, I would take it from somebody who is like a millionaire, very successful, not a scammer. But honestly, I did watch this, which I start when I'm reacting in real time with you guys to videos that I find, or you guys find. You could always, you find a video that's worth reacting to, you could email it to me. I'd be glad to react to it in real time with you guys. But I did see this one, so it's funny because the $1 million advice that he has, we already know. So it's just funny.
It's what it is. Those of you that do watch, you're going to get some great value here. So smash the heart button, drop into the comments. Let me know if you're a replay viewer, where you're coming in from. I'm curious, but I just wanted to record a quick training on this because it's a topic of conversation that I think will be most helpful, because let's be honest, how many of us are super busy, right? Some of you got a lot going on. I think that's most of us. I think most of us are probably busy. And here's the truth. Even people that aren't busy think they're busy. Here's how I know this to be true. I remember when my kids were young, now they're 20 and 16, which is so crazy, cool and weird and awesome all at the same time. But I remember when they were young, and, you know, I'd ask my daughter to do something and she's like, Daddy, I'm playing with my Legos. You know, or Dylan's like, hey, I'm playing video games. I'm busy. Like, boy, turn that video game off, right? But at the end of the day, even our kids think they're too busy to clean the dishes, clean their room, do their homework, whatever that looks like, right? Everybody's busy doing something. Even people that aren't really busy think they're busy, right? Nobody's just like, yep, I got nothing else better to do. So I get it, but it's all about priorities, right? Like, for instance, we are officially launching our company tomorrow. It's so exciting. We're going to have our first ever founders pack and products available, and putting in volume for the first time, which is kind of a big deal since none of us have been paid for months. So it's really exciting.
See, they recruited all these people months to prior even knowing what they were going to sell, months prior to even having a product. Okay, all they did was come up with the name. And a lot of these people who came up with this new MLM are a lot of top leaders from Modere.
With that being said, I get people that are like really excited, but again, really busy. And we all have a different version of busy, but people are busy. So I like giving people advice on what to do if they're busy. And I figured I'd share this with all of you, because then I can tag people in the replay of this video. I can create a podcast out of this. The point is, I think it's really important to understand that everybody's busy doing something, but it's all about, like I said, prioritizing. Create a schedule, a plan. Now, part of the reason people say they're busy, especially in the beginning, I find it's a lack of confidence and clarity.
That's your $1 million advice, John? Prioritize and scheduling? I'm pretty sure people were doing that long before I was born. Long before you were born. Come on. That is not anything new. And then the lack of confidence and clarity, I feel like, I mean, I guess it could be people aren't confident in, you know, being on social media, being on Reels, things like that, or they're nervous or don't know how to do it. But I feel like some people who understand they're in an MLM don't want to be posting that on their personal Facebook page or Instagram page or TikTok, because MLM has a bad rap, right? And that's why a lot of them are trying to back away from MLM. They say direct sales, social networking, things like that to kind of distance themselves from MLM. I'll let him go a little further, but I just think that we already know prioritizing and scheduling if we're busy. We understand that already. We've been doing that, but I don't know, the lack of confidence and clarity, maybe, I guess, but
if they have a lot of confidence and they have a lot of clarity in what we're doing and why we're doing it, they're probably going to find the time. Does that make sense? Like, how many of us, if you're super busy, but all of a sudden you're pregnant or your wife gets pregnant, you're not going to be like, oh, too busy for that kid. No, you're going to be like, you know what? We're just going to find the time. We're going to figure it out. Why? Because you're having a baby. It doesn't matter how busy you are. You're having a baby. You're going to have to figure it out. It's the same thing in this business. You got to figure it out. You got to figure out what matters most. You might not have a lot of confidence. You might not have a lot of clarity, but that's why you have a mentor. That's why there's a system in place. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. You can build a business that eventually gives you your time back. That's the whole point of this, is to create residual income, leveraged income. Sometimes that residual income can go away though, like when your company shuts you down on payday. Lovely experience. But with that being said, you rebuild.
For him to even compare the two is wild to me. Having a baby And making time for your baby and raising your baby is not comparable to having an MLM. That's false equivalence fallacy. It's wild that he even compared the two. Having a baby is nothing compared to being an MLM. You could work your ass off in an MLM and still fail. And it's nothing to do with you, but they're going to make it seem like it is. They're going to tear you down and say that you don't work hard enough, you're not doing enough, when really you could be the hardest worker in that entire company and still fail, because the business structure at its core is designed that way. And he's talking about Modere in there. For the business to just close their doors. He was the top leader in Modere. And so they closed their doors just one day without even letting people know. And they could do that. So that's what he's talking about when he says that.
And here's what I'll tell you, because I've had to rebuild many times over the years. Sometimes I had to rebuild because the company went bye-bye. Sometimes I had to rebuild because my team went bye-bye, especially in those early years. Like, it was funny because in the early days, when I was building my business offline, right? We were doing belly to belly, knee to knee, eye to eye, old school network marketing. What are you whining about, boy? You wanted to be in here. Anyway, that's Brady, in case you're wondering. What was I going to say? Oh, I would have people come in, join the team. 30 days later, they're out the door, right? I mean, we had people quitting. We had more people quitting than we had joining. It was like you were always trying to, like, you know, bring in the newbies because, like, you know, they were new excitement while you were having people that have been in for 30, 60, 90 days quitting out the back door. It was just hard. But the point was, we had to get really good at rebuilding, relaunching. And every time I've had to build again from scratch, we built it bigger, faster, stronger. And I got a lot of clarity.
Of course, more people left than joined because they discovered what they were in, an MLM, a pyramid scheme. So I could totally see that. I understand why they left. But I'll tell you a story. So growing up, I was looking for a job, and back then they were in the newspaper. And so this job description, like, oh, you can make $1,500 to $2,500 a month or a week or whatever it was. I don't remember. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Dad, guess what? You know, and so I call the number and they tell me where to go. So I get so excited. I dress up and go to this interview, and it was selling Kirby vacuums, okay, door to door. Back then you had to go door to door. And not only that, you guys, if you've seen a Kirby vacuum, you know, but if you haven't, Google one and you'll see how, like, huge they are. It is wild. So door to door, okay, and you have to haul this big old vacuum around door to door with you. And if somebody invites you in, then you gotta take this vacuum apart because there's so much to it. Seriously, you had to, like, take this thing apart basically and then add different things in there. You had to demonstrate to show how well the vacuum worked. I remember being so upset. I did do it, but I showed my family, and that was as far as I was going. Showing my family, and then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going door to door. This big old vacuum. How embarrassing. So, yeah, I'm old. I know. Yeah, so I can see why more people left than joined.
On what it takes to build, even if you're super busy. So I would say put together an agenda, a plan, a schedule. Just like if you had a part-time job, you would have to show up at work at a certain time. Yes? Common sense, right? Like, you get fired if you don't show up for work. So create a schedule. Maybe it's like, you know, you work for an hour in the morning before work. Maybe it's an hour at night. Now, you might say, well, John, I kind of work my business in the nooks and crannies and, you know, I'm always on my phone. I got it. But you need intentional time where you're focused on growing your business if you're serious. Let me know in the comments if you're serious about growing your business. What kind of income are you trying to generate with your business? $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $500 a month. Maybe you're just trying to make extra money. Maybe you want to make a little bit silly money. Whatever it is, obviously the bigger the goal, the bigger the commitment. Common sense. You want to make $10,000 a month? People say they want a filet mignon lifestyle, but they got them hot dog habits. You want to make $10,000 a month? It's going to take a way bigger commitment than somebody that just wants to make extra money. Someone just wants to do it part-time, spare time. So if you're busy, I was just talking to a guy yesterday. He's super busy. And I was like, listen, and this is why I created this video, because I have this conversation all the time. He's like, look, I really want to build. I just got a lot going on. So I'm like, listen, the number one thing I would focus on if you're busy You don't have time to do content. You're not sure about going live because, again, you lack what I said, confidence and clarity. You're not sure about, it isn't that difficult to talk in your stories for 60 seconds every day. I mean, give me a break. Just share something you're learning about your new business, about your new product. 60 seconds? You can't talk for 60 seconds in your story? Okay, you're busy. Got it. But again, probably because of lack of confidence and or clarity. Capiche? I was like, listen, dude, just introduce me to people. Pick your 5 to 10 best people that you would love to partner with that are ambitious, entrepreneurial minded. Put them in chats with me. If you can't do that, I don't know what you can do. Nobody's that busy. Nobody's too busy to find 5 to 10 people that might want to make money. Does that make sense? If you said, I'm too busy to post, I'm too busy to, add tag message, ATM, I'm too busy to go live, do reels, do stories. I don't know what to post. I'm overthinking it. I got analysis by paralysis. Cool. Just identify 5 to 10 people. 5 to 10 people that would be open to making more money this year than they made last year. 5 to 10 people that like the idea of creating an MBA, a massive bank account. 5 to 10 people that maybe just want to make extra money. I don't know. The point is, identify those 5 to 10 people, put them in chats with your upline, put them in the group, tag them in the video. That's it. You don't even have to do that actually. You could literally put them in a chat with your upline, the person you partnered with, and say, hey, John, this is Bob. Bob's very entrepreneurial minded, very open to learning more. Because I'm busy and I'm brand new, I wanted to connect him to you. So you could share your story.
If people don't want to prioritize your scam into their lives, leave them alone. A lot of people who either have a hard time saying no or feel bad for saying no, they'll say, I'm too busy. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. That's a big one. I don't have the money. Okay, then take it for what it is and walk away. But no, he wants, plug me in with 5 of your people. Just 5 or 10 of your people. Just give me their contacts. No, if I don't want you scamming me, why would I want you to scam my friends and family? I'm not connecting you with anybody. Some people are easily manipulated too. They fall for their story. That's a big one. He says in here, tell them your story. Hook me up with 5 to 10 people so I can share my story. It's a sad, sob story. They were lost. They were broke. They didn't have the money. They were in debt. They were on the verge of bankruptcy. And then I found this great opportunity. That's their stories. And he's going to try to sell you on his story. So allegedly, maybe. But in my opinion, I don't want to get in trouble here. Maybe they do have the time, but they're just telling you they don't have the time. Or maybe they're not that busy, but they're just saying they're that busy because they don't want anything to do with what you're doing. So take it for what it is, a no, and walk away. No, I'm not going to plug you with 5, 10 of my people. I just feel like he's a little too pushy and he will harp on you just to get anybody he can. Because he looks at human beings as dollar signs. They're just all dollar signs to him. And it's sad and sickening.
And get him plugged in. Now, of course, it is better if you have the person added to the group, tagged in the presentation video. That does make more sense for you to do it since you're their Facebook friend. I know for me, I'm always maxed out on friends, so I can't add people. So with that being said, you add them to the group, you tag them in the video. If you say, well, I don't know what video it is, just get them in the group. Just get them in the group. Your upline can tag them in the video. Your upline can share the video. You can click on the 3 dots on a video in a group, the 3 little dots, boop, copy it, drop it. As long as they're added to the group, invited to the group, they can see the replay. It's fantastic. This is why I love ATM, add tag message. It's the best system on planet Earth. Now you'll hear people say, oh, we got funnels, we got this, we got that. Cool, we have all those things too. We've always had those things. But it still does not convert as well as having human connection, human conversation, identifying people's interest levels and questions and figuring out their personality, what they want to accomplish, helping them map out a plan. The point is every dud knows a stud, baby. Write that down. Every dud knows a stud, and every dud can become a stud.
I know I keep stopping this and I'm sorry, but the only reason why he wants to talk to them one-on-one to get to know your interests, what you want out of life, what's going on in your life. Like, are you depressed, or do you want time freedom? Are you a single mom? Like, things like that, so that he could prey on your vulnerabilities. And it's sickening because it's like, oh, you're a single mom and you have to leave them to go to work for 8 hours. Well, join my team and you could work from home, so you don't have to leave your kids. You could be home with your kids all day and just post on social media, and you can make 6 figures a month and build your business. It's funny that he says your business, because guess what? He was the top leader in Modere, and they closed their doors. They didn't say anything to anybody. They didn't give anyone heads up, nothing. They just closed their doors. And so it's sickening that that they closed their doors on him, and then he's gonna build this MLM himself and then try to sell, oh, it's your business, when it's not. Because Nueve could shut their doors at any time and ruin a ton of families' lives. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't get it. How can he sit there and sell this fake dream?
Every dud knows a stud, meaning you've got people right now that you've enrolled. Now, with our company right now, we're in free enrollment, pre-enrollment, whatever. So, it's really easy to sign up someone for free. All they got to do is enter their name and email. But starting tomorrow, we have our founder packs, which is so exciting. So people can finally start getting products in their body. And actually, the first product is called Body. So that's kind of cool and fun. But I had a point. They can introduce people. They may not be the one. They may not be that excited. They may be scared, which, by the way, scared money don't make money. So be careful. How many of you heard the acronym for FEAR? False evidence appearing real. Some of these people, unfortunately, are afraid of embarrassment. They're afraid to do something. It's kind of like, my wife always laughs because I always use pickleball. But pickleball is a great example because I started playing a couple years ago. Totally obsessed. I love playing. And I can tell you, when I first started playing, I wasn't super excited to play with people I didn't know because I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't want to be embarrassed, right? And you're just like, you suck at it. You don't know the rules. That's like this business. We have a bunch of people that get involved because they like the idea, the concept, the potential. But once they start talking to some people and they get a little bit of what we call OPO, other people's opinions, right? A couple people tell them, oh, I tried one of those things before. Or, my aunt's, uncle's, dog's, cat's, sister's, best friend's neighbor did one of those things and they lost their house. Like, what? What does that even mean, they lost their house? But the point is, there's some negative Nancy's out there, right? There's some people out there that maybe you do your first post and you get some negative feedback, or they Google an article or whatever, right? They find some nasty YouTube video by some bitter quitter that tells you why that business model doesn't work. Meanwhile, those people never have a solution. They only have opinions. Let me tell you why this sucks and that sucks and this sucks and this isn't good and that's not good. And it's sad because sometimes that new person gets blown out of the water.
If you're seeing me in different areas during this video, that's because I'm trying to find a quiet place to film, and for now this is it, so bear with me, I'm sorry. Any anti-MLM creator that I've seen, yes, they have opinions on MLMs, but that's not the only thing that they show. From the own MLM companies themselves, we show income disclosure statements, which backs up everything that we gotta say about an MLM, okay? So we not only have opinions, but we show facts to back up our opinions. Funny how he's saying that nasty YouTubers saying things about this company and don't let them persuade you. Well, we're trying to protect people. That's what we're trying to do. That's why I'm doing this, so that I could protect people from getting into this scam and getting away from this fake dream that you're trying to sell people. Of course, he wants you to not listen to your friends and family. Honestly, your friends and family you should listen to, because those are the ones that love and care for you the most. And they're gonna protect you. So I would always listen to your friends and family before you listen to this guy trying to sell you a fake dream. It's funny, negative Nancy's out there. No, it's just that we know that you're an MLM and a A lot of people do not profit working for this company, no matter how hard they work. It gets oversaturated and you lose money in the end. So whenever they get their income disclosure statements, we will go over that. But for now, they just barely launched, so it'll be a while if they even put one out.
They get blown out of the water by a negative Nancy. So this is another reason you want to encourage them to introduce you to their people. Because if they don't introduce you to their people, you're never going to know. You're never going to know what they could have led to, right? You have to look at it like this. This is the analogy I heard years ago, and I thought it was so powerful. Most people that join your team, even your customers, most of them are just fishing poles, and you're the fisherman. They may say, well, how do I know I'm a fisherman? Well, you know what? I used to say a fisherman is someone that's making a full-time income in their business. They're full-time. Everybody that's part-time and every customer is a fishing pole. If you're full-time, you're the fisherman. But I also think in some regard, a fisherman is just a choice. It's stepping into your leadership. It's stepping into your potential, making a decision, drawing a line in the sand and saying, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to stop making excuses, because you can't make money and make excuses. Choose wisely. I'm going to be a How many of you, drop it to the comments, let me know if you want to be a fisherman. A fisherman is really just, it's making a choice. You decide, this is it for me. I'm all in. Now, again, it's easy, right? One of my old mentors used to say, if I said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to crush it, I'm going to build the biggest team ever, I'm going to build my empire, it's going to be crazy, I'm going to make millions of dollars. How about the people that would say, I'm going to out-earn you? Like, cool, great, I'll be your biggest fan. In fact, I'll help you out-earn me. Let's see what you can do. But he would say, oh, well, you did the easy part. He would say, you did the easy part. What's the easy part? Saying it. It's easy to say I want to be a fisherman. It's easy to smash the heart button. Smash the heart button if you want to be a fisherman. It's easy to say you're going to do this and you're going to do that, right? We got a whole lot of wannapreneurs out there. I want to hit the top rank. I want to go all in. I want to fire my boss. I want to build a big customer base. I want to go viral and go, become an influencer. And I want to, cool, great. A lot of wannapreneurs out there. But at the end of the day, if you do decide that you want to be a leader, you don't want to just like be a part-time, spare time person. You don't want to be casual, right? You don't want to be casual. That's how you become a casualty, right? One of those people that woulda, coulda, shoulda, they should all over themselves, right? I should have bought real estate back before the boom. I should have got involved in cryptocurrency before everybody else did. I should have, jumped on the Nueva wave before everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? But I should have got my founder pack. I didn't have the money. All the more reason. If you can't afford it, can't afford not to do it. The point is, and I said it earlier, you find time. You find the money if you see the value. You don't lack resources. You lack resourcefulness. Listen, if I told you I'll give you my Ram truck, it's a TRX, it's a $100,000 truck, I'll just give it to you. But you got to come up with $550 by tomorrow. How many of you, even if you didn't like that kind of truck, like, ooh, that's ugly, that's a terrible truck. Okay, cool. I'll give you my Tesla for $550, or my other Tesla, right? Like, well, I'll give you my daughter's Tesla. It's funny because we bought a Tesla in 2018. So far, I've driven it, Nadia's driven it, Dylan drove it, and now Christina's driving it. With that being said, even if you didn't like Tesla, even if you're like, I hate Elon, or I hate Ram trucks, I hate all trucks, it's not the point. The point is, you would find the money because you would just buy the truck, buy the Tesla, and resell it the next day for a huge profit.
Here he goes again with another false equivalent fallacy. You know that if you go and borrow that $500 and some odd dollars, you're going to get a truck or a Tesla. Investing in an MLM is completely different than finding that $500 and some odd dollars to get his truck or Tesla. It's not the same. And for him to compare the two is wild, because you're going to get a Tesla that you could turn around and sell or drive, or that truck. But you invest hundreds and thousands of dollars into an MLM that may not work, that the business structure at its core is set up so that people fail. That's wild to me that he would even compare the two, because it's not the same.
But you might say, well, John, but that's different. That's $100,000 Tesla or $100,000 truck. True, good point. But you could make that per year in your home business. I don't care if you're selling lotions, potions, pills, water filters, skincare, hair care, cleaning products, knives, bowls, beads, pots, pans, jewelry, legal service, travel service. It doesn't matter. There are people making 6 and 7 figures in every company out there, selling every type of product you can imagine. There's companies out there that do scrapbooks, press on nails, like all kinds of eyebrow, like extensions, like all the things, right? There's digital products, physical products. The point is, if you go all in and you're committed to it, you make it a priority, you find the time, you find the money, you get out of your own way. Listen, you know what drives me crazy? Oh, it drives me crazy. So many of you have people on your friend list right now, in your cell phone right now, that are on their knees every night praying for a miracle. Now, it might not be your business. It might not be a good fit for them. But what if it is? What if it was? What if it was the greatest thing they've ever seen? Like, I'm grateful someone showed me network marketing when I was 20 years old. Thank God for Mike Callahan, who I need to call him today. So Mike got me to a presentation. I was in that company for 2 years. Now that company got shut down. I've had 3 companies shut down on me, which is why we're starting our own. But that company exposed me to personal development. I met Nadia in that company. Yeah, it didn't work out. Technically, it didn't work out with that company, but I was exposed to personal development. I got exposed to mentors. I got plugged into training and learning from people that had what I wanted. They'd say, find someone that has what you want, do what they do, and you'll get what they got. People that actually have results. This is why I don't listen to opinions. Because opinions, it's like, if I buy your opinion, I'm buying your lifestyle. I'm buying your bank account. People have opinions about what we do. It's like, cool, well, I wouldn't do what you do. You wouldn't do what I do. I literally couldn't care less. Oh, those things don't work. Okay, cool. Got it. You might be right. Those things are pyramid schemes. You might be right.
For him to say that 3 of his MLMs have been shut down on him, why would you say that? And you're trying to get people to join your MLM? That's wild behavior. And I don't believe by your opinion, by someone's bank account and lifestyle. I don't believe that for a second, because honestly, I would not want his lifestyle. He's scammed a bunch of people. How could you sleep at night scamming people left and right?
I don't like your product. Cool, great. I don't like your product. Right? Like, look, let me give you an example. Someone tells you they don't like your burgers, and you own a Burger King. You own a McDonald's. Now, I agree. Those are disgusting burgers. They have those nasty nuggets. I don't think it's chicken. I wouldn't eat that stuff. But would you agree they're still doing billions? They don't care if you and me like those products. They're doing billions. You may hate Starbucks. Like, Starbucks. But would you agree they're doing pretty good? You may not like them, but somebody does. I was in Germany, in Munich, in the airport, and I refuse to drink Starbucks when I go to Europe. I mean, come on, you're in Europe. Drink the European coffee, the Italian coffee, right? The whatever coffee. The Starbucks line was wrapped around the whole deal. I mean, it was insane how many people in Germany at a German airport were drinking Starbucks. You might hate it. Somebody's drinking it. Can you guys still hear me? I had a phone call. It is a numbers game. You don't want to treat people like a number, but it is a numbers game. And there are people right now in your cell phone that are on their knees every night praying for a miracle, and you have a miracle in your mouth, but you're being selfish because I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what to post. I haven't tried the product. Listen, you haven't tried the product. I get that. I would wait. If you're a person that's like, hey, I need to try the product first, then you should wait until you try the product. If you're one of those people that's like, well, I don't want to go on social media and start talking about it until I've like hit my first rank or I got my first check. Like, I get that. That's totally cool. You have to do what's best for you. Don't let anybody else pressure you to do something you don't want to do. But if you want to build, but the only reason you're not is simply because you're afraid of other people's opinions or you don't know what to say to people, stop overthinking it. There's this technology called ChatGPT or Grok, whatever you want to use. And there's also Google. And there's so many different AI tools out there now. Say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm a construction worker or I'm a school teacher or I'm a fill in the blank and I'm looking to create an additional income from home. I'm a little nervous because I'm in my 60s or in my 20s, or I've never done something like this before, but I'm trying to figure out how I can attract people to me. I'm trying to figure out some scripts or some language so that I can approach the people I care about. I want to share this with them, but I don't know what to say. ChatGPT will help you come up with ideas. And by the way, if ChatGPT gives you ideas you don't like, let's say you get a couple ideas, you're like, I don't like this. Say, ChatGPT, I don't like this. I don't talk like that. Can you give me another example? Can you give me something? I want to post something that's a little funny. I want to do a video. I want to do a story. Can you give me a script? Can you give me an outline? Can you give me some bullet points? Like, you're overthinking this. You have to take initiative. You're a grown adult, right? Take initiative. Say, if I'm serious about this business, I want to make a check with a comma. I want to make a full-time income. I want to fire my boss. I want to build a legacy for my grandchildren. I'd hate to tell them in 20 years the reason I didn't build wealth is because I didn't know how to use ChatGPT. Because I didn't want to approach my chicken list. How many of you have a chicken list? Drop some chickens in the comments if you have a chicken list. Everybody's got a chicken list. When I first got started network marketing, I had a chicken list for like 10 years. People that I was too nervous to approach. And then once I started approaching my chicken list, the people I looked up to, the people I respected the most, and you know why I didn't approach them. Same reason you don't approach them. I don't know what to say. I didn't want to look dumb, right? How many of us worry about that? I don't want to look dumb. Once I got over that fear, false evidence appearing real, once I got over that analysis paralysis, I'm like, listen, I'm just going to show it to everybody. If they do it, great. If they don't, great. I've got this new coffee I'm trying. Danger coffee, Rise coffee, some other coffee I tried. I'm trying all the things because we're probably going to come out with a coffee. I had a point. Oh, I just stopped overthinking it. I was like, listen, I just want to expose them to what I'm doing. Expose, involve, upgrade. I was like, I'm just going to expose my best people. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they hate it. I don't care if they love it. It doesn't matter. I mean, hopefully they love it. But even if they hate it, I don't care. I'm just going to plant the seed. I'm going to plant the seed with everybody I know. Even the people I looked up. Here's the reason I had to approach my chicken listers, the ones I looked up to the most. Because even if they all said no, which, by the way, back then, most of them did say no. That was 15 years ago. I was not making a lot of money in network marketing by any means. Most of them did say no. But it helped me build thicker skin. It helped me get over my insecurities, my doubts. And some of them were actually pretty cool. Some of them were like, you know what, this actually looks pretty good. Now, I think most of them ended up saying no, but like some of them came out to like a second meeting. Some of them would join but not do much. But I was shocked by how many A-listers, A players, people with influence, people that were already making money. It was amazing how, in fact, I'll tell you this. If you take a group of A players and put them on that side of the room, and then you put a bunch of non-A players, non-entrepreneurial minded people on that side of the room, you'll find that more of the A players will be interested and will join your team. More of the non-A players might become customers. Now, it's not always going to be that cut and dry. It's not always that cut and dry, but in general, if you have 100 here and 100 there, you'll sign up more of the A players than you will the non-A players because they have an entrepreneurial spirit. You know the saying, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. So those of you that I'm so busy, welcome to the club. We're all busy doing something. It's good to be busy. If you're not busy, let's be honest, our least busy contacts are probably the ones that are the least ambitious, the least motivated. So yeah, you signed them up, but they did a whole lot of nothing. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Does that make sense? Like, there's nothing exciting. There's nothing exciting about enrolling somebody that does nothing. There's nothing exciting about enrolling someone that you had to beg and convince to do the work. It's network marketing, not work marketing, not lottery ticket marketing. However, this is kind of the beauty. And I see some people that get mad about this. They're like, the person that introduced me does nothing. Yeah, but that's what they signed up for. They're allowed to do nothing. Now, they still have to meet certain requirements to get paid. They still have to have like certain structure requirements.
Wow, he did not just come clean about that. Did you hear him? So some of the people complain that the people at the top that signed them up, so the person at the top of the pyramid isn't doing much. And he's saying, well, they're allowed to not do much because They've built their team. All they got to do is sit pretty and go on vacations, but meet certain quotas. Yeah, of course, but they're going to meet them because they got everyone underneath them working hard while the person at the top profit and does nothing. I can't believe he just admitted to that. Oh my gosh.
I love the companies, by the way, that say we have no structure requirements. Okay. Lies on lies. And by the way, some companies start that way and then they change it. You ever heard of companies doing that? No, never. Every company has structure requirements. So with that being said, you may get upset if someone comes into the business, recruits you and some other people, and then they just sit back and cash checks for years and do nothing. It's just the nature of the beast. But again, every dud knows a stud. So I've had duds that didn't bring much to the table, but they led me to someone that led me to someone that led me to someone, because I'm the fisherman. These are all fishing poles. And they led me to some other fishermen. Some of the best people in my business today, I met them or found them or they found me through someone else's network. That's why I get so like fired up when someone's like, I don't have time, I don't have this, I don't have that. It's like, I don't need your time, I need your contacts. I need to know who you know. And by the way, it doesn't matter to me. If you don't introduce me to people, that doesn't matter. I'll probably still end up meeting a lot of your people. We'll just meet them through someone else. How many of you have been in network marketing for more than 5 to 10 years? Let me know in the comments, because I guarantee all of you have a story or an example of someone you knew that joined the same company you're in, but you didn't introduce them. There's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than being like, and then they're on stage breaking records, right? They're burning a hole in the freaking carpet on stage. It's like, they're getting so much recognition, right? They're getting so much recognition, hitting all the top ranks, breaking records, and you're like, clapping and crying because you're like, that's my neighbor, dude. That's one of my old like high school friends. Like, why didn't you approach them? Overthinking, stinking thinking, analysis paralysis, all the things I'm talking about, right? Barbara, Shannon, have you seen this happen? Vicky, have you ever had anybody you know join your company but with someone else? You know my favorite, when somebody says like, I'll never do one of those things, and then they do. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say, I thought I would never do, but then I found this thing, this product, this company, this comp plan. I came out of retirement. Like, okay. Never again. And then they're doing it again. The bottom line is talk to everyone, especially your best contacts, especially your chicken listers, your A-list. Why wouldn't you? What's the worst? They say no. Did you die? They said no. Did you die? Look in the mirror. No. You're good. That's right, Cindy. You'd much rather get a no than find out they said yes to someone else because you didn't ask. Now, sometimes you'll say, well, I did ask them and they said no to me, but yes to somebody else. Well, that's a different conversation. That means you need to do a better job of building relationships, nurturing relationships, staying in touch with people. The fortune is in the follow-up. It's just the truth. Shannon said, yes, not in the last couple years because I got out of my own way. Finally. Amen. I love it too, Kim. You just have to think to yourself, if this person, this is the game I would play in my own mind back in the day. I would tell myself, if this person joins the company I'm in and blows it up, will I be upset? And if the answer is yes, then you better talk to them. If nothing else, just to let them know, hey, just so you know, I'm starting something new. I'm super excited. I'm working with some amazing rock stars. We're doing something that's never been done before. I mean, you don't have to lean into that language if you don't like hype. Say whatever you want. We're coming out with something that's cutting edge, leading edge. We're coming out with this, that, and the other thing. It's something that I think is going to be amazing. It's going to be huge. I just wanted to share it with you if you're open. If not, no big deal. I just wanted to see if you were open. If not, no big. Don't ask them if they're interested. Do not ask them if they're interested. How can they be interested if they don't know anything? Ask them if they're open. Would you be open? I'd love to introduce you to my mentors. I'd love to introduce you to some of the people I'm working with. The number one thing you should be doing, again, if you're super busy, you don't have time to post, you don't have time, just simply identifying 5 to 10 people. Maybe every week you find 5 to 10 people you can introduce your upline. Put them in a chat with in Messenger. Put them in a chat with Facebook Messenger. Mark said, never again. Oh, wait, is exactly me. That's funny. I saw someone say, what if they're not on Facebook? I mean, here's the deal. You could put them in a text chat, an Instagram chat, a LinkedIn chat. I mean, every platform has chats now. You could always do a text chat. But I will tell you this. If someone wants to work with me and build a business, they have to have Facebook. I can't work with someone who doesn't have Facebook. They may say, John, no, but you don't understand. They use TikTok and Instagram. Okay, and my son, who's 20 years old and has never been interested in anything we're doing, he had to download Facebook a couple weeks ago because he wants to do Nueva. I'm sorry, it's not an option. He needs to be in the groups. He needs to be on Facebook. It's not a big deal. He's like, yeah, no problem. Like, you can't download Facebook? Are there other platforms? Obviously. Do other platforms have value? Obviously. I've been teaching TikTok longer than any network marketing trainer. There is no network marketing trainer that was talking about TikTok before me. No one. No one. There was no one. We were the first team that I know of that was crushing it on TikTok and then teaching people. So believe me, I know TikTok is money. I get it. But what about TikTok shop? What about this? What about Instagram? What about, I get it. YouTube. Sure. They're all good. The point is, Facebook is where we do most of our communicating, training, connecting. Can someone join if they don't have Facebook? I mean, sure. I wouldn't be able to work with somebody like that. They got to be on Facebook, in my opinion. If they want to make money. If they just want to be a customer, that's different. That's just a product user. But you have to realize that you have people right now in your network, in your phone. You have their number. You're friends with them, or they're following you. You haven't talked to them. Why? Do you hate money? Do you hate the idea of rank advancing and building your dream team? If you want to build your dream team, smash the heart button, drop into the comments. This is the number one thing you can do. Talk to everybody, especially your best people, especially your chicken listers, your A-list, the entrepreneurial, influential types, okay? Hope you guys got value from this conversation. If you did, smash the heart button. If you really loved it, smash the share button, tag some teammates. I always try to keep my trainings generic. If you wanted to share it, cool. If not, that's cool too. We'll turn this into a podcast as well because these live videos go away after 30 days, which is #rude, but that's okay. Let's crush it. I know we're launching our business tomorrow, so we're about to go absolutely buck wild. So keep watching, keep following, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
I'm so glad that's over. So I promised you guys a Modera clip at the end, but honestly, it has music in it. And when I went back and watched the clip, it was basically just saying Modera closed their doors, but then it influenced them to start their own business. So with the music, and then it doesn't really say much about Modera other than it's closed their doors. So I'm not going to play it. But yeah, he's the founder of this new company. He was the top leader of Modera, and they closed their doors without, a heads up or a memo, nothing, and that's scary in itself. And he even said 3 companies have shut down on him, so you should really let that soak in, and that should tell you something. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you're notified anytime I post a video. And I will be covering this MLM along with all the others. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good night.